Holy shit, they have brands? I'm pretty sure 1 and 2 didn't have brands. Man, this is giving me, it's like a GT 2002 vibes. Oh my god, what is this thing? Man, these are old shit boxes. Yeah, we're going for a fucking Nissan. I've never seen that one before. Oh god, they're called CP. God damn it. Japan. No, don't do that. Alright, 23,000 CP, baby. Alright, so shit box is going brown. I don't speak Japanese. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on? Why? Where are we dropping, boys? Alright. A few CPs. Let's get some power. Oh, hell yeah. How much does that cost? It's free? No, it's not free. What the fuck is this thing? Blinker? Why? Oh my god, they got a furry in there. Let's fucking go. Alright, so you're probably wondering, you know, what happened since I left. And maybe even why I even had to leave in the first place. Well, it's very complicated. There's a lot of, like... Holy shit. There's a lot of backstory. And, you know, I was debating whether or not I should talk about it because, you know, I don't like talking about my personal life too much. But, I think it's, like, such a mess that I have to talk about it. Like, there's just so much to it. Every time you think it gets better, it just gets worse. Oh fuck. Sorry, I had to adjust my lights. Oh my god. Fuck. Alright, so let's start with the chair. So, like 3 years ago or something, like 2.5 years ago, you know, I was living with my dad. And it was a nightmare, so I you know, I tried to move out, and I had to leave a few things over there, which was not too much of a problem. Essentially, I just lost mainly my desk chair, which was a piece of shit chair. Okay, it was awful. It smelled bad, and you know, it smelled like shitty, like Chinese plastic, right? Like that smell. It's kind of just like uncomfortable and like too small. It's kind of a mess, even though like it's like an ergonomic chair or whatever. It's like over $100 or whatever. So, you know, I had one of those, and I had to like leave it at the apartment because I couldn't move all of my stuff at the same time, right? And I couldn't go back there. So I lost that. Also lost my keyboard, and that's about it. Honestly, I didn't lose much. And, you know, first thing I did was buy a new chair when I moved. And I had an amazing chair. Well, not that amazing, but it was fancier. It was really comfortable. I could stream for like fucking 6 hours in it and I would be just fine. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about why I had to move from this other apartment I moved like 2 years ago. So, I had to deal with a bunch of shitty roommates, right? Like maybe 5 of them or so. So, you know, first guy was a bit loud, whatever, he left. Second person, whatever, alright. But eventually we had like the two last ones, which were like the nightmare ones. So we had, I'm gonna call them Rat Girl and Christian from Timu, alright? So, Rat Girl didn't speak a lot of English at all, okay? She had like the worst accent ever. I have a bad accent, alright? She was way worse. Essentially, one of the moments I remember the most is, I was just like locking my door and leaving, right? And she tells me something along the lines of, do you feel safe when you leave? And you know, I'm like, that's kind of threatening. What does she mean by that? You know, and then she says it's jock. You know, and I'm like, what do you mean jock? Like, who's? I'm not a jock. I'm like a fanboy at best. Fuck. So you know, kind of weird. And then you know, she keeps saying jock, and eventually I understand that she's saying joke, as in like she was making like a haha unsettling joke, you know. But like the language barrier was just like too much to the point where it was just too awkward and like made it wasn't funny in the first place. First off, but just you know, I had to deal with that a lot whenever I talked to her, so I didn't talk to her ever. I would avoid leaving my room because I didn't want to talk to either of them. But the reason why I call her Rat Girl is because at some point I cleaned the drain of the bath, right? Because I have the longest hair in the gang, and you know, I don't mind just cleaning the drain. I do it all the time, whatever, right? 2 days after cleaning the drain, right? Christian from Timu messages the group chat, right? And they're like, yo, the drain is like fucked up. And I learned through all the bullshit that happened that they essentially don't know how, they didn't know how, that they could like unscrew the opening of the drain to like clean it out. So they were never able to actually clean it properly, and I had to do it. And I was mad because I was like, I just cleaned it. It's like, I'm not cleaning it again. Like, you guys deal with it. And like 2 days later, it's still fucked up. And I have to take a shower because I have a skin condition, right? I lose a shit ton of skin. And if I don't want to, like, if I didn't take a shower, I would just start shedding all over the place, right? Nightmare. But, you know, I'm like, okay, well, let me, like, look into it because I need to take a shower. And I open the drain, and there's just a shit ton of like thin chunks in there, or like chips. Like I don't know what it is, right? And you know, I sent a picture in the group chat. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, it's wood. I'm like, what do you mean it's wood? So a rat girl, she had a bunch of rats in a big cage, right? And it's filled with like little like wood chips in there. So the drain was filled with wood chips. And a bunch of it got deeper in it, and I couldn't reach it, so I was like, yo, this thing's fucked. Like the wood is just like, I can't clean it. It's fucked, right? So they cleaned it the next day, whatever. And you know, that's just like another example of thing that happened, you know, because like, I don't know, like, you don't need to clean the cage in the bathtub, like just, or like at least get rid of all like the wood chips in it, and then like maybe clean the gunk in the bathtub. I don't care, right? But like that person also complained a lot about the bathtub being gross, which like, you know, if you didn't clean your rats in the fucking bathtub, maybe it wouldn't be like that. I'm just saying. And then there's the other one, right? Like Christian from Timu. They were really weird, like really fucking weird. That's why I call them Christian from Timu. Like, just someone who's like very like difficult to like predict, and would just do like a bunch of shit that's like, you're like, why? You know, very loud person as well. Did like stand up, I think, or something. Like someone who craves attention and would do like a bunch of like, be really loud, be really obnoxious, just really annoying. Like sometimes it would be like 5 a.m. in the morning, and like I'm preparing my food, and I just hear them like listening to like Saber Spark on the TV really loud. Like whatever, I don't care. Do you? I try to like, you know, add them on Facebook and like be chill with them. I couldn't. I tried. I really fucking tried. Okay. Oh yeah, when they came in for the first time, they're like, hey, they're like, oh, I'm a germaphobe, right? So you know, if I'm to clean like the bathroom or whatever, I'll go really in depth and all that, you know. And I'm like, all right, fine. I might have like a few issues where like they complain like I'm not clean enough or whatever. I don't care. Germaphobes are fine for me. But plot twist. It was the grossest of the 5 roommates that I've had at that apartment. Like for real, like just grossest fucking human being ever. Like, what they meant when they said germaphobe, what they meant was they were scared of diseases because of COVID, you know? So like they would wear a mask constantly indoor and like in the room and shit. And they would like use like baby wipes to like open any door handles. Come on, dude. Okay. And I was just like, I don't believe that this person's germaphobe. Like, there's just like food rotting on the counter and like the room is just filled with garbage, and you're telling me that you're scared of like the door handle? Like that's crazy to me, you know? And they would like collect soap. Like I had to hide my soap because they would just like, it was just a bunch of soap everywhere, like little like bars of soap. And there was like 20 bars of soap in the sink at some point, like both sinks. And I'm just like, why is there soap everywhere? Like that kind of thing, right? I had to hide my soap, for fuck's sake. Like it was just weird. So you know, like really weird behavior, and like the moment you're like slightly like criticizing them, that person would just go into a panic attack, like unironically, like just straight up panic attack, breathing really heavily. So I would never complain in the group chat because of that. I would just go straight to the owner. I'm like, hey, there's a problem there, can you deal with it? Man, I'm losing a lot. The fuck? So, you know, nice people. So Radgirl moved out because the place was too gross, and well, just because she just needed to like be there temporarily. I was also kind of there temporarily. I didn't want to live with like roommates for the rest of my life because, you know, I'm doing this, you know, I want to be a streamer and whatever. And it's kind of awkward when there's like someone outside your room that's just like, you know, living their own life, and you're just like trying to do this thing. So whatever, right? So Radgirl moves out, Christian gets kicked out after a month, right? And they're like, the owner is like, I want to get rid of the lease because like it's too much trouble to deal with like all these roommates. I don't want to have to worry about it, so you should try to look for another place, right? And after that, she tells me that like she broke up with her boyfriend, and that if I need a place, I can just move downstairs with her, which is fucking weird. She's a nice girl, alright? Like she's fine. It's just like the whole like situation just made it really awkward. Also, I feel like she would try to be my friend, kind of, and like I don't know, like the age gap and like everything, just I wasn't like too comfortable with it. Who knows? Maybe she's like one of my viewers, or like maybe because she asked to hear my music, you know. Like I don't want to send you my music. Like she kept like bothering me about it. I'm like, sure, whatever. I sent her my Bandcamp, right? So she could be in, you know, she could be a chatter. I don't know. That's also one of the reasons why I didn't want to talk about that. I'm like, well, what if she knows, right? You know, it just makes me really uncomfortable to think about it. Which, I mean, if you are, you know, you can stick around. Just don't tell me. I don't want to know. I really don't. I don't even tell my coworkers about this stuff. Like, I have like one coworker who shows up every now and then. That's about it. I don't want people to know about this usually. It's kind of just like a personal thing for me. So essentially that's phase 2, right? Now getting to like phase 3, that's where it gets really fucked up. Like that was fine, like the rent was so fucking cheap, you have no idea. It was essentially like free rent. It wasn't free rent, but it may as well have been, alright? I was stacking up money, alright? I was ordering Uber Eats like every other day. It was insane. Like I was just living rent free, bitch. Very, oh my fucking god, car, please. It was chill as fuck, alright? So like, I didn't care if there was like a poop sock or whatever in the corner. Don't care, alright? The rent is so fucking cheap, I'll take it. So I find a place, right? It's back in the city, right? So it's a bit more convenient for my job and all that, right? I was like, oh yeah, you just need to like show up and like sign the lease that date, right? So I take the day off from my job because the office is open the same time as my office that I work at. So I'm like, all right, I need to like take the day off, right? So I take the day off, and I have to call them, right? I call them. I'm like, hey, I'll come by tomorrow or whatever, and they're like, no, you can't come tomorrow. And I'm like, she told me to come tomorrow. And she texts me and she's like, you have to come tomorrow. They're like, no, you have to file a form tomorrow. And I'm like, whatever, I'll show up tomorrow. Essentially, the person transferring the lease is like trying to make me come tomorrow, and then the actual owners are like, no, don't. So next day, the actual owners, they're like, hey, here's the form, fill that up, and it's asking for a bunch of stupid random info. The only info on that mattered was 2 phone numbers. The owner of the last place and my, like a supervisor at my job, right? If I give them 2 phone numbers, they can't reach my job. So I'm like, fuck. I'm not at my job right now, so I can't like ask around for help. So I call one of my coworkers, except on my job it's like super secure, so you can't bring your phone in the lab. Oh, dude. So I have to wait for this guy to like go on break and pick up my message, right, and be like, alright, I'll ask around. So he gives me because essentially I'm looking for like a phone extension or whatever, and at first I assume it's like the you know, the employee code or whatever, like that. I thought that was the extension number, so I just give them like a bunch of codes, a bunch of random employee codes with like the name of like all like the supervisor in my area or whatever. And I'm just like, just figure it out, right? And they're like, none of that worked, and I'm like, oh fuck. So, you know, I ask him again, they're like, it doesn't work, can you like ask like how to reach them out, like anything? And he's like, I'll see what I can do, and he gives me a fucking email, right? He's like, this is HR's new email. It's not the same email that I had for HR, so like that's cool. They keep changing it or whatever. But essentially HR doesn't have an extension number. Which is fucking insane to me, but like whatever. Alright, so you know, I have experience with HR there. If you say a naughty word, fuck. If you say a naughty word, how do I rev? If you say a naughty word, they'll get in a call instantly with you, right? If you need them to like help you like get proof of like work to like get a fucking apartment before you go homeless, they fucking ghost you. Fuck. So you know, HR doesn't pick up the email, right? They probably assume it's like a spam email or some shit. I don't fucking know. So next day I come into office, right? Friday. And I'm like, alright, let me like ask around. So I just start complaining to everyone because they're not picking up the fucking email. And I end up having my direct supervisor, which works from home. Like, that's like the fun thing is my direct supervisor is work from home, I believe, and my my project manager is in a different office, right? So like everyone that's like above me is like not even in the office, so I have to like ask around on our VPNs, like contact someone. Absolute fucking hell, right? And I have to deal with that like all day, stressed as fuck. So they gave me like the portal to like send a ticket to HR, right? So I could try to call. What the fuck is this? Clown. Insane clown posse. Fucking magnets. How do they work? Right. So whatever. I contact HR and I'm like, hey, can you call this phone number and tell them like I do indeed have a job. By that point, I had given them like so much fucking info about my job that like it was like impossible to fake, you know, like you know, it was impossible to like fake. I was getting just like impatient with them. I was just like, fuck, just give me the fucking lease, please, you know. But no. So I have, you know, HR is like, yeah, we're on it. We'll call them. And 3 days later, Monday, they contact me and they're like, oh, they haven't reached to us yet. What's going on, right? And the person transferring the lease is also bugging the officer, like, hey, can they sign the lease yet? Can they sign the lease? Piece of shit. Haha, gotcha. So, you know, I start complaining around. They're like, hey, try to like bump the ticket again or whatever. I do that, doesn't work. Next day, it's been 4 days by that point since I sent the ticket to HR and they're just ghosting me. You know, so I just start complaining that HR is ghosting me and they're like, contact the project manager, right? So fucking hell, this fucking game is so slippery. So I contact my fucking project manager, they call, they poke HR directly, they're like, hey, my guy's like freaking out, can you like just fucking call the number? And they're like, sure. And then 30 minutes later they're like, hey, we called them, everything's good now. So I had to like, you know, freak out for 5 days trying to like get all of this fucking information, which was essentially just 2 fucking phone calls, getting fucking ghosted by my own fucking HR, right? So I'm like fucking, by that point I'm like, I don't even want the apartment anymore. I just want to be like off the grid. I want to go homeless. I'm just fucking piece of shit car. By that point I'm just like, I want to live off the grid, like fuck this thing, right? Also, I forgot to mention, but when I signed the lease, right, I had to run after the boyfriend of the person who lived at that apartment before me, and I had to like text them, and they were like ghosting me for the first day, and then the next day they were like, oh hey, can I like come over, like I can bring you the keys before my appointment. And then I was like, oh, you know, my shift ended at that hour. And then they're like, fuck, I can't, we'll reschedule, right? And I end up like a day later figuring out a date, right? I'm like, I can be there at 5:10, right? And they're like, if you're not there by 5:10, I'm leaving the fucking keys in front of the door and I'm leaving. So I'm fucking running like a fucking psychopath for like 20 minutes to get to the fucking apartment before this guy fucking dips. He's not even there. Like, I arrived before him, like 10 minutes before him at like 5. I'm like, where the fuck are you? So that was also an adventure that I had to do, where I had to like fucking contact this fucking asshole on the phone who didn't want to like just fucking give me the keys. So that was fun. So by that point, I only had 1 weekend left to like move, right? Because the next weekend someone else was taking the place. So, you know, I'm still freaking out by that point, you know, but I do have family to like help me move, so I'm fine, right? Weekend comes, move all my stuff, no problem. I realized that boxes, cardboard boxes on Amazon are $50. I bought like these cool bags. They're like bag boxes. They're really cool, and they're like reusable. You can just fold them and like use them whenever. They're fucking amazing, right? And it costed like less, so I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm buying these bags, right? These bags are cool. But yeah, Amazon boxes, fucking $50 Canadian. So that's great. So comes the big day, right? We move my stuff, right? But you know, they have kids, so they have to like they had to leave a few things at the apartment. The main thing being my chair, my new amazing desk chair that I love so much, so dearly, right? So once again, I lose my fucking desk chair, and I'm really upset. They're like, oh, we'll pick it up like tomorrow, right? Tomorrow comes, I text them, they don't respond to me, they fucking ghost me, right? There's a lot of ghosting in my story, it's great. Like, I get ghosted, right? Fucking pain, alright? I'm freaking out, alright? First night at the new apartment, alright? I can't sleep, I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, I hate this apartment sucks, alright? I have to clean the walls, they're kinda gross, alright? I'm like, I'm freaking out. There's a fucking triangular wall, I'm like, it's fucking terrible, it's ugly, I hate it. I hate this place, I like it, man, it's fine, alright? It's better than the other place, technically, in a lot of ways, but also worse in some ways. But generally, the positives, I think, outweighs the negatives. It's definitely more expensive, like it's a normal rent price, so I'm not making infinite money cheat right now. I've had to dig in my funds a little bit, because I told the owner of the other place that I would take the bed, and then I was like, oh, never mind, I don't need to take the bed. But then I was like, oh, maybe the bed base, right? Because there's no base on the at the other place. So I'm like, I don't really want to like undo the base and bring it over. I don't care, I'll sleep on the floor for a month, I don't care. But my sister's mom, she's like, oh, I'm gonna undo this fucking thing, it's gonna be awesome. So she undoes it, she brings it over. Cool shit, right? And she's like, oh, you took it. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Sorry about that. And she was like, oh, I didn't make a lot of money this month, I was gonna sell it, whatever. I'm like, I'll just pay for it, right? So I give her some money. So, you know, a lot of like tiny little bullshit like that just kept piling up, really annoying. But right, I couldn't sleep the night. I was just freaking the fuck out, alright? I was like hallucinating. I had fucking demons that night, alright? I was fucking freaking out. I had never freaked out that much to sleep, alright? About like 2 a.m. I start kind of feeling a little like sleepy and drowsy. It's kind of starting to work. Because I think I took like sleeping pill by that point. And then 3 a.m. comes and my fucking doorbell, the loudest thing on the planet, alright? 3 a.m. Alright, I wake up, I'm like shaking in fear, alright? I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like, nobody called me, no text messages or anything. I'm just in my bed freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? So I started like messaging a bunch of friends in fear, being like, I'm fucking freaking, I'm losing my mind in this place. I hate it. I hate being alive. Please. I have fucking demons haunting me. I'm dying. 45 minutes later, 3:45. All right, I'm starting to like feel a little sleepy again. I'm feeling a little better. I'm like, whatever. Bam, 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 bam. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm even more scared that time, you know, because like, why would someone just like ring again like 40 minutes later, right? Like, I'm assuming it's just like someone who's stuck outside, didn't have their keys or whatever, right? Or like someone who's just drunk and just started like pressing everything or whatever on the panel. I'm in fear at that point, right? It's my first night over there. I don't know anyone. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just in my bed shaking and fucking like almost crying, right? Thankfully, it was the last time. But I did get woken up by a fire truck. That was cool. And there was also a fire truck and like ambulances. I've been hearing fire trucks and ambulances and cop cars every night since. They haven't really been waking me up too much, but you know, living in the city, you know, whatever. So, you know, I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm dooming even more in Discord at that point. The next day, you know, after sleeping 2 hours, I call my phone company because they also sell internet, and I'm like, I don't want to have like 2 different bills. I just want to like have the internet, whatever. I call them, and I'm like, I'd like to order internet. So they asked me a bunch of questions. The guy is talking really quiet. All right, you can barely hear him. All right, he's just. Can I get a proof of identification? Yes, I would like a P. Do you have one with the picture? And every time he asks me something, I'm just like, what? Can you repeat that? What? What are you saying? Constantly for like 20 minutes, alright? It took so much fucking time for him to just be like, yeah, your place can only support like 20 kilobit per second. And I'm just like, why? He's like, no, you'll have to ask your building. I can't help you with that. I'm just like, okay, thank you. And he tells me like, to confirm the order, I have to have like a piece of identity with a photo, right? And now I don't travel. I don't have any will to travel really. And I don't have a car because I live in a fucking city and I can just go anywhere. I don't need a fucking car. Like, the only reason I need a car is to bring my fucking chair. My fucking chair. Yeah, I tell them I have my medical card. What the fuck is this bouncy car? Fucking hell. So I tell them I only have my medical card with a photo. And, you know, that's like the best piece of identity you can have. Like, that's what you get everything with. It's your fucking medical card, right? Canada. But, you know, he's like, no, I can't. I'm just like, why? I can't verify that on my computer. You'll have to go to the store. I'm like, alright, fine, I'll go to the store tomorrow. Alright. I didn't go to the store tomorrow. So I've been coping for like a week by just watching Fillion videos on mobile data, right? Big shout outs to Fillion. She's really been helping me, alright? God damn, the coping was hard, alright? I didn't even really watch her content before. I just like stumbled on it and I was like, haha, that's funny parts. And I've just been watching her and it's been helping me a lot. I'm less I'm fine now, I'm fine, but you know, I've just been using data. I'm uploading this video with data right now. I don't know if I want to stream with data though, because I do have a lot of data, but I don't think it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of slow. I'd have to like do a bunch of fuck shit, because my PC has like the shittiest fucking Wi-Fi card. I have like an extender for it that I connect wire with a wire, so like I could like wire a good Wi-Fi adapter to like hotspot my phone or whatever. I don't fucking care. I'm not doing that for streaming. So let's just say like it's not my priority right now. It really isn't, but I'll try to see if what I can do like this weekend, because it's not really expensive, particularly when it's just like fucking 20 fucking megabit per second, which is pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. It's gonna take me like 2 days to download like one game. It's awful. But you know, I'll have all the bandwidth, so it's probably gonna be like a consistent 20, 25 or whatever. So you know, we'll see next week maybe. Cause I feel like I'm just gonna go over there and they'll be like, oh, you don't have insert thing here, even though you've had internet with us before and it was very fine and there was no issue whatsoever. I'm sure they'll find a problem, because I've just been having problems constantly for like the past 2 weeks. Like everything's been awful, right? So whatever, I'm just like, fuck the Wi-Fi for now. I'll just focus on my chair, which you know, it's the next day and they've been ghosting me, right? I'm just like, okay, they said they would come today for this stuff, but whatever. Maybe like they're too tired, they're sleeping today, so next day, you know, I'm like, what's going on? No response. I'm just kind of like freaking out. So the day after, I'm like, alright, it's like halfway through the week. In like 3 days, I won't have, like, that apartment is just gone, and I won't be able to like get anything from there. So I'm like, I'm just gonna order a new chair, right? So I changed my address, my default address on Amazon, right? I ordered a fucking like whatever, like first share I find, whatever. And you know, I order it. Next day, they're like, hey, your package was shipped, right? So I see the picture and it's at the other apartment. I'm like, I changed the default address. What do you mean is that at the other apartment with the other chair? Why is there $400 of chairs at the other fucking apartment? What's going on? There's 2 chairs over there, and I just want one. All right, like I'm fucking freaking the fuck out. So you know, I'm freaking out. There's also my curtains and shit. Like I bought like $50 of curtains and like poles and whatever. So there's all this stuff over there, right? So I called the owner of the place. I'm just like, hey, my shit is at your apartment. You can sell the other chair. I just need this stuff, please. So you know, she's like, yeah, tomorrow I can bring it over, right? I'm like, cool, fine, whatever, cool. And the moment she says that, my sister's mom, she finally responds to me and she's like, hey, what time you want me to bring your stuff tomorrow? And I'm just like, man, fuck everything. And I was stressing the fuck out, you were ghosting me, and then you answer me and you're like, hey, what's up? So I tell her like I figured it out, whatever. I don't need help. But and I got my stuff yesterday. So yesterday I just built everything. And you'll never guess what. The chair that I ordered, it's the shitty chair that I lost at the beginning. It's the shitty chair that smells like fucking Chinese plastic. It smells like shit. It's uncomfortable. I hate it. I fucking hate this chair. This chair sucks. It's too small. Like everything just feels wrong on it. I hate the fabric. It's awful. I hate this fucking chair. It's like angled in a shitty way too. I hate it so much. I fucking hate it. Alright, I hate it. I hate this fucking chair. God. So that's why I've been gone. And now I have a chair so I can, I wanted to make content for the past few days, but I was like, I can't even like sit at my desk. I have to like sit on the floor. I was like, I don't want to do that because my desk is pretty high. Why would I do any of that? That's awful. And I didn't have curtains, so the light would get in the screen and I wouldn't be able to see shit, so that was fun. So that was my 2 last weeks, essentially. Well, even a little more because I gave like a bunch of exposition backstory. But yeah, I live by myself now. I'm chilling. The bathtub doesn't have wood in it. I did have to clean the drain for some reason because it was filled with gunk or something. I don't know, that was weird. But yeah, I'm just chilling, dude. Yep. Only thing I'm missing right now is internet, and I have data, so it's not even like a big deal. Just means that I'll be doing like pre-recorded edit videos for a little bit, which I think is better anyway. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that a great story? Oh my god, I'm finally back. It's hard to believe. It's finally over. My nightmare is over, I think. Actually, no, it's not over. Yesterday, because, we put food in the fridge, right? Our job. I rolled these nuts on my yogurt. And they threw it in the trash or something. So yesterday I was starving at work. That was cool. Because they want us to like write our names on the thing, because if there's no name, they'll just throw it out on Fridays. It wasn't Friday, it was Wednesday. So I didn't even think they would read it. I just left my yogurt in there for like 3 hours, and I'm like, I want to go grab my yogurt, and it's just not there. It's just not there because I wrote these nuts on the fucking yogurt. Because I thought I was being funny, and I'm just like... I was thinking about like the presidents, not the president. It was like one of those like places where like they ask people, hey, who are you voting for? And a bunch of people just wrote these nuts. So like these nuts had like 8% of the votes. And it was on the news. It was really funny. So I was just thinking about that. I was like, hey, these nuts, these nuts for presidents. So I was starving, but it was kind of funny, and I was kind of pissed as well. So do whatever you want with this information. I'll try to make funny videos soon. It's just like I just had to like vent. I really did. I hope it's understandable. Whatever.